I just turned 65 10 days ago, which means that I'm officially a senior traveler. And if you're over 65 or 70 and you're watching this video, you need to stay with me until the end because the rules have changed and it affects seniors a lot. I've seen seniors get turned away at departure gates because nobody warned them about the new requirements. They showed up at the airport confused and frustrated when all of it could have been prevented with the right information. Maybe you've been flying for decades and you think that you know what you're doing. It doesn't work that way anymore because the rules aren't the same. We are not talking about minor tweaks here. We're talking about new document requirements, boarding policies, and security processes that are completely different from what you've experienced 2 years ago. If you show up at the airport unprepared, you could get rejected at the departure gate and miss your flight. Not because you did anything wrong, but because you did not know the rules had changed. Like Ruben, who is a 72-year-old, he missed his grandson's graduation because he did not have the right ID. I don't want that to happen to you. So if you want practical travel tips, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss future videos. And let me know in the comment section, are you over 65 or 70? Do you have an upcoming trip? I'd love to hear from you. Now let's get into the 11 things that you need to know before you book a flight in 2026. And I'll tell you exactly how to handle each one of them. Let's start with the Real ID, which is now mandatory for domestic flights. As of May 7, 2025, you cannot board a U.S. domestic flight with a standard driver's license. Your license must be Real ID compliant, which means it has to have a gold star or black star in the upper right-hand corner. A lot of seniors have had the same driver's license for years, and some of them have even stopped driving. And now suddenly they're being told they need a new one? That causes panic. Here's what you do right now. Check your license for that star in the right-hand corner. If you don't see it, you need to go to the DMV and get a Real ID compliant driver's license. But don't panic just yet. You have options. You can also use your passport or passport card as long as they are valid. Number 2 is medical clearance forms are required in certain cases. You don't need a doctor's note just because you're over 65 or 70. But if you require supplemental oxygen, use a wheelchair due to mobility issues, or you need other medical assistance, you must complete a medical clearance form 48 to 72 hours before you depart. The rule used to be more flexible. Now they're tightening it up. The form is called MEDIF, Medical Information Form. Some airlines have different names for it. Delta calls it a Special Service Request Form. United calls it Accessible Travel Service. It's basically your doctor's signature confirming that you're cleared to fly. Here's what you say when you call the airline. I need to submit my medical clearance form for my upcoming flight. Can you email me the required form? They will send it to you, and then you're going to have your doctor complete and sign it. Submit it at least 2 days before your flight. This is not optional. If you don't have it, the gate agent can deny you boarding. Now, if you're healthy and flying without medical equipment or assistance, you don't need this form. But if you have any doubt, maybe you use a cane or maybe you have a heart condition, make sure you call the airline. It's better to have the documentation you don't need than to need the documentation you don't have. Does that make sense? All right. Let's move on to number 3, which is prescription medication rules got stricter. This catches people off guard constantly. As of 2026, TSA has strict rules about prescription medications, especially liquids and controlled substances. Here's what most seniors don't know. Your pills need to be in their original prescription bottles, not a pill organizer, not a Ziploc bag. The original pharmacy bottle with your name on it. The prescribing doctor as well should be on it, and the medication name clearly labeled. If you're traveling with a week's worth of pills in one of those daily organizers, TSA can confiscate them. I know that sounds inconvenient, but here's why it matters. TSA needs to verify that the medication belongs to you and that it's legal. Without that prescription label, they have no way to confirm it. And with increased security around opioids and controlled substances, they're not taking any chances. So here's what you do. Before you pack, separate out the pills that you need for your trip and ask your pharmacist for a duplicate labeled bottle. Most pharmacies will do this for free if you explain that you're traveling. Keep that bottle in your carry-on, never in your checked luggage. Checked bags can get lost. Your heart medication is too important for that. For liquids like insulin or liquid antibiotics, you're allowed to bring more than the standard 3.4 ounces, but you must declare them at the security checkpoint. Don't just throw them in your bag and hope they don't notice it. Walk up to the TSA officer and say, I have medically necessary liquids in my bag that exceed 3.4 ounces. They're going to pull your bag aside and test the liquids. It takes an extra 2 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever it is. That's all. One more thing. If you use injectable medications like insulin or EpiPens, carry a copy of your prescription or a doctor's note. It's not legally required, but it makes the process so much smoother. I've seen passengers get held up for 20 minutes because the TSA wasn't sure about their insulin pens. A simple prescription printout solves that problem instantly. Number 4 is the TSA PreCheck for seniors, which is the free alternative that nobody mentions. Everybody talks about TSA PreCheck. And yes, it's great. You keep your shoes on, your belt on, and your laptop stays in your bag. But here's what most people don't know. Travelers 75 and older get to keep their shoes and light jackets on even in the regular TSA line. This is a little known TSA accommodation that started in 2023. You don't need to pay for PreCheck to get some of these benefits if you're 75 or older. You can leave your shoes on during standard screening. You still have to remove your belt if it has a large buckle, but the shoes will always stay on. Here's what you do. When you get to the airport security line, tell the TSA officer I'm 75 and I'd like to keep my shoes on. They're going to direct you through. That's it. It's an official TSA policy. Now, if you're under 75 but over 70, here's my tip. Get TSA PreCheck. It's $78 for 5 years, which breaks down to about $16 per year. That's less than one check bag fee. And the time and the stress that you save, it's priceless. You can apply online and schedule an appointment at an enrollment center, and then you can have it within 2 or 3 weeks. But here's the insider tip that nobody tells you. If you have certain credit cards, they will reimburse the TSA PreCheck fee. Cards like the Chase Sapphire Reserve, Capital One Venture, or some American Express cards cover it completely. So check your credit card benefits before you pay out of your pocket for that TSA PreCheck fee. You might already have this covered and not even know it. Number 5 is pre-boarding rights that they don't always announce for seniors. Let me explain. Airlines are required by federal law to allow passengers who need extra time or assistance to board before the general boarding begins. This includes seniors. But here's the problem. They don't always announce this clearly, and many seniors feel embarrassed to even ask. Let me tell you something. Airlines want you to pre-board. They'd much rather have you settled in your seat before the chaos of general boarding than have you struggling down the aisle while they wait for you with 200 people behind you. It's safer for you, easier for them, and keeps the boarding process moving smoothly. Here's what qualifies you for pre-boarding. If you need extra time to get settled, if you need to store a mobility device, if you have difficulty walking long distances, or if you simply feel more comfortable boarding early, then you qualify. Age alone doesn't automatically qualify you, but needing extra time does. And let's be honest, many of us over 60 or 70 do need that extra time, trust me. Here's exactly what you say at the departure gate. I'd like to request pre-boarding because I need extra time to get settled. That's it. You don't need to justify it. You don't need a doctor's note. You don't need to feel guilty either. The gate agent will allow you to board during the pre-boarding phase, which happens right after active military and families with small children and those with disabilities. Some airlines call this priority boarding or courtesy boarding, but it's all the same thing. You board early, no extra charge, and it's free. It's your right as well. Please ask for pre-boarding if you need it. The airline crew is there to help you. Number 6 is the new mobility device screening procedures. If you use a cane, a walker, a wheelchair, or any mobility device, TSA updated their screening procedures in 2025. You need to know what to expect so that you're not caught off guard. Here's what changed. TSA now uses advanced screening technology for mobility devices, which means your device might go through a separate scanner or get swabbed for explosive. This is standard procedure. It's not personal. Don't take it personal. They're not singling you out. But if you don't know it's coming, it can feel invasive and frustrating. I hope you're getting some value from this video so far. Let's continue. Here's the process. When you arrive at the airport security, tell the TSA officer, I use a mobility device and need assistance. They're going to direct you to a separate line where they can accommodate you. Your device will be inspected either by hand or through a scanner, and you'll be asked to walk through the metal detector or receive a pat down if you cannot walk. Now, if you cannot stand or walk through the metal detector, you can request to remain seated in your wheelchair. TSA will conduct a pat-down screening while you're seated. This is allowed. This is your right. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Here's the magic phrase that you would use. I need to remain seated for screening due to mobility limitations. They will accommodate you. If they give you any pushback, ask to speak with a TSA supervisor. Supervisors are trained on these special accommodations, and they will make sure that you are treated properly and with respect. One more insider tip. If you're traveling with a collapsible wheelchair or walker, make sure you collapse it before you get to the security. It makes the screening process faster and smoother because it can go through the X-ray belt more easily. If you need help collapsing it, ask a TSA officer or airline employee. They will help you, trust me. Number 7 is wheelchair assistance. You should request earlier than you think. If you need wheelchair assistance at the airport, you must request it when you book your ticket or at least 48 hours before your flight. Not when you get to the airport, not at the check-in counter either, 48 hours in advance. Here's why this matters. Airlines contract with third-party companies to provide wheelchair services, and those companies assign their staff based on advance request. If you show up at the airport needing a wheelchair and you did not pre-request it, you might wait 30 minutes or more for someone to become available. I've seen seniors miss flights because they waited too long for wheelchair assistance that should have been pre-arranged before they got to the airport. Here's what you do. When you book your ticket online, look for a section called Special Services or Accessibility Request. Check the box for wheelchair assistance. If you're booking by phone, tell the agent, I need wheelchair assistance from check-in to the departure gate and from the gate to baggage claim on arrival. Be specific. They need to know exactly where you need help so that they can help you. If you already booked your ticket and you did not request it, call the airline now and say, I have a flight on such and such a date and I need to add wheelchair assistance to my reservation. They will update it in the system. Now, here's the insider truth. Wheelchair assistance is free on all U.S. airlines. Yes, it's free. It's part of the Air Carrier Access Act. You don't have to tip the wheelchair attendant, though many passengers do because they're grateful for the help. Airports are huge. Gates are far apart. You're allowed to ask for help. You have earned it. Before you book or even pack, grab my free 2026 Travel Rules Quick Check Sheet. It's a simple guide that you can keep on your phone so that you don't get caught at the airport by a rule you didn't know. The link is going to be in the description. Now let's keep going. Number 8 is invisible disability. And that's the accommodations that you earned. Not all disabilities are visible. Maybe you have chronic pain, arthritis, breathing issues, anxiety in crowds, or cognitive challenges. These are real conditions that affect your ability to navigate an airport comfortable, and you are entitled to accommodations even if you don't look disabled. Here's what airlines don't advertise. You can request extra time, priority seating, escort services, or other accommodations even without a visible mobility device. The Air Carrier Access Act protects you, but you have to speak up because gate agents and crew, they cannot read your minds. Here's what you say. I have a disability that's not immediately visible. and I need specific accommodation, state what it is. For example, I have severe arthritis and I need to pre-board so I can store my bag without rushing. Or I have anxiety in crowded spaces and I need assistance navigating security. It's that simple. Airlines are required to provide reasonable accommodations. Reasonable means it doesn't fundamentally change the flight operation. That's all that is. You can also request a specific seat near the bathroom because you have a medical condition. Asking to sit in an exit row without meeting the requirements, that's not reasonable. Okay, just let that sink in. Now we're on to number 9, which is traveling with oxygen or CPAP machines. If you use supplemental oxygen or a CPAP machine, you need to notify the airline at least 48 hours before the flight. Airlines have specific policies about these devices, and they need advance notice to ensure that they can accommodate you. For oxygen, most airlines don't allow you to bring your own compressed oxygen tanks on board. Instead, you'll need to use a portable oxygen concentrator. They call it a POC. That's FAA approved. Check your airline's website for their list of approved POC models. When you call the airline, say something like, I need to travel with my portable oxygen concentrator. Can you confirm it's on your approved list and help me with the required documentation? You likely need a doctor's note stating that you require oxygen and confirming your flow rate. Some airlines also require you to bring extra batteries, enough to power your device for 150% of the expected flight time. For CPAP machines, these don't require advance notice, but here's what you need to know. Your CPAP machine does not count as a carry-on item. You can bring it in addition to your regular carry-on and personal item. Keep it in a separate bag and let the TSA know that you have it when you go through security. TSA will likely swab it for explosives and run it through the X-ray, which is normal. This is standard. Just make sure it's easily accessible so that you're not holding up the line, digging through your luggage to find it. Number 10 is companion care seating. If you're traveling with a companion who provides you with assistance during the flight, helping you with meals, for example, getting to the bathroom, managing your medications, airlines are required to seat you together at no extra charge, even if one or both of you didn't pay for seat selection. This is a federal requirement under the Air Carrier Access Act, but most passengers don't know about it. Here's what you do. When you book your tickets, call the airline and say, I require assistance during the flight and I need to be seated next to my companion. This is for disability accommodation purposes. They will make a note of it in your reservation. When you check in online or at the airport, if you're not seated together, remind the gate agent of this requirement. They will move seats around just to accommodate you. You don't need to provide medical documentations for this either. Your word that you need assistance is enough. Number 11, that's where we're at now. It's connecting flight protection with meet and assist. I'm going to explain that. If you have mobility issues and you're booking a flight with a connection, make sure you request meet and assist service for your connecting airport. This is a service where an airline employee meets you at the gate when you land. They will escort you through the airport and get you to your next departure gate. This is especially critical if you have a tight connection or if the connecting airport is large and unfamiliar. Here's how to request it. When you book your ticket, tell the airline, I need meet and assist service at, and you state the connecting airport. I have mobility limitations and I need help getting to my connecting gate. They're going to arrange for someone to meet you at the jetway door when you land. That person will have a wheelchair for you if you need one and will navigate you through the airport, whether that means taking you through a faster security line, getting you on a shuttle between terminals, or just walking with you to make sure you don't get lost. This service is free, so use it. Here's one more thing that could make a huge difference. If you're over 70 and you're traveling alone, tell your flight attendant during boarding. Just a simple hi, I'm traveling alone today and I wanted to let you know just in case I need assistance. Why does this matter? Because if there's a turbulence, if there's an emergency, if you need help reaching the bathroom or retrieving your bag, The crew already knows to check on you. They're not going to hover over you or treat you like a child, but they're going to keep an eye out. Your comfort and safety matters most. Don't be afraid to speak up. Ask questions and advocate for yourself. The crew is there to help you. These accommodations exist because you deserve them. You've earned them, so use them. Now I want to hear from you. What's your biggest concern about flying as a senior traveler? Is it security lines, the long walks through the airport, or medical equipment? Drop your answer in the comment section below. I read every single comment, and your questions help me create content that actually serves you and other seniors. If you found this video helpful, share it with a senior traveler in your life who needs this information. Send it to your parents, your grandparents, and your neighbor who's planning a trip. This information could save someone's vacation or even prevent a serious injury. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button below and ring that notification bell so you don't miss another video, another insider secret that I always share on this channel. I've got videos coming up on how to get free upgrades, what to do if your flight gets canceled, and crew member secrets airlines don't want you to know. Oh, and please remember to grab my free 2026 Travel Rules Quick Check sheet that you will need. It's a simple guide. You can keep it on your phone so you don't get caught off guard at the airport unprepared. The link will be in the description below. You will thank me later. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon.